Hey everyone, how's it going? Andrew back with White and Wordy, and another review today, Link's Awakening on the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo originally released Link's Awakening way back in 1993 on the original Game Boy, and it was pretty impressive that they were able to fit a pretty sizable adventure game on a tiny little handheld console. Over the years, Link's Awakening has sprouted this cult following of sorts, with some people putting it up there with A Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time as one of their favorite Zelda games. Now in 2019, Nintendo has brought in Grezzo, the talented studio behind the really great updates of Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time on the 3DS, to remake Link's Awakening on the Nintendo Switch with an updated art style and a new modern control scheme. For someone like myself who has never really finished Link's Awakening, or for people that have never really played this game at all whatsoever, this is going to feel like a brand new Zelda game, which is pretty cool. This new remake seems pretty faithful to the original Game Boy game. Like I said, I only really played about half of the original game. The overworld seems to have the same layout, the dungeons are in the same areas, and the puzzles seem pretty much the same. Even the boss fights feel like they are exact recreations of the Game Boy version. Some of the more obscure ways that you progress through Link's Awakening is back to. The prolonged trade sequence comes to mind here, and these could frustrate some new players. But it was clear that Grezzo wanted to recreate Link's Awakening basically exactly how it was in the Game Boy, and they basically succeeded. The big issue with the original Game Boy version is that the Game Boy only really had 2 face buttons to use for every action in the game. That means that you would have to continually go to your menu, equip your sword, equip your shield, and then switch to other items when you needed to use them, which was kind of irritating. This new Switch remake pretty much solves this issue by allowing you to equip 2 items at the same time with the X and Y button, but also allow you to have the sword on its own dedicated button, as well as the shield and other actions. It minimizes the time spent in menus. Link's Awakening was, and still is, a really great Legend of Zelda game. Koholint Island is fun to explore. There's actually a decent amount of dungeons in this game, and all the puzzles are pretty fun to solve. The new tilt-shift Fisher-Price looking art style is also super adorable, and it fits the game perfectly. With the new HD graphics comes with this weird frame rate issue. The game will constantly run at 60 frames per second, but then randomly jump down to 30 frames per second and then jump back up to 60 frames per second. It's pretty jarring, and it happens quite often. And although you do get used to it after a while, it was pretty distracting. If you're a person that really cares about refresh rates, you might actually really hate this. I even wonder if the game would have been better if it just ran at a locked 30 frames per second, just for consistency's sake. Ultimately though, Link's Awakening on the Switch is a really great remake of the really fun 1993 Game Boy game, so this is an 8 out of 10 for me. There's definitely no denying that the frame rate is a little head scratching, and the prolonged trade sequences may frustrate some new players, but I had a really fun time exploring Koholint Island and solving all of its puzzles. And because I had never really finished the original Game Boy game, which is the case for a lot of other people probably coming to this game, this is going to feel like a brand new Zelda game in 2019, and that's pretty rad. One quick thing that I wanted to note about this game is that it's a $60 retail game. I'm not necessarily saying it's not worth the money. I actually didn't factor this into my overall score, but I just wanted to call it out. In Canada, where I live, this game came to $90 after taxes, so you're kind of paying $90 for a remake of a 1993 Game Boy game. I feel like if this game would have came out 2 or 3 years ago on the 3DS, it probably would have been 30 to 40 bucks. Nintendo games also don't really go on sale very often, so you're basically going to have to pay full price for this game or find it used somewhere for cheaper. Like I said, it didn't factor into my overall thoughts of the game. I just wanted to call that out. Thanks for watching my review for Link's Awakening. Like and subscribe if you like what you saw, and stay tuned for more reviews of games. So thanks.